following professional wrestling exhibition requires discretionary viewer participation. Good evening to you, RWL wrestling fans. Chocolate City, USA, Hershey, Pennsylvania, the backdrop for this evening's edition of RWL Rage. A good evening to you. I'm Don Hickson, and I'm joined by Myron Schimmelman and Christy Ogilvie for tonight's 2 hours of RWL Rage mat action. A terrific lineup as always, Myron. Thank you very much. Good evening, everyone. How's everyone doing tonight? Yeah, terrific lineup. Did you see what happened at Snarl? The thing with AJ Styles and Bruiser Brody? Oh, it's become what a McGilla it's become. It's going to be a mess.
Hi out there, people. I nearly fell out of my chair when AJ Styles showed up at Snarl and laid into Bruiser Brody. Brody is here tonight and everyone's steering clear of him.
Can't say I blamed them. I don't want to be anywhere near him. He came knocking at my door. I played nobody home. As we begin tonight, there are many heated rivalries in the crowded cruiserweight division, and among the worst is the rivalry between the Cocoa Beach Wonderkin Tommy Wilcox and the lightning fast one Tony Dangerous, who clash again tonight in our opening contest.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to RWL Rage. Our first match is scheduled for one fall with a 15-minute time limit. Coming down the aisle along with the Fairfield Fox Faye Crawford, from Cocoa Beach, Florida, weighing 204 pounds, one half of the Rage Tag Team Champions, Tommy Wilcox.
The Wilcox half of Wilcox and Hollywood, the Rage Tag Team Champions, along with Faye Crawford, his inspiration. And Tommy Wilcox has definitely been very successful since connecting up with the Fairfield Fox. Tonight it's a match against Tony Dangerous, someone he definitely does not think too very much of. He considers Tony Dangerous to be something of a cartoon character, but I suppose in professional wrestling that's a subjective issue. That's what I said. I mean, we got all kinds of things. We got clowns, superheroes, monsters, zombies, whatever the hell we got.
His opponent, along with Mighty Molly from Statinopolis, weighing 196 pounds, the lightning fast Tony Dangerous.
And on the other side of the coin, the lightning fast one, taking the stock superhero view of the Cocoa Beach Wonderkin, a respectable fellow with an ego problem, is how Tony Dangerous describes Tommy Wilcox. Well, there's no love lost between these two.
So far, it's just been a few salty words thrown around between them, and it hasn't gotten ugly like Tony's rivalry with Cruiserweight champion Gary Galaxy. Let's hope it don't escalate between Tony and Tommy.
He doesn't need that. He's already got enough problems with Gary Galaxy.
Ooh, lively crowd here in Hershey tonight.
And so it's a terse rivalry between these two underlying this opening contest tonight on Rage. Walt Rothburn sounds the bell. They come centering. Tony Dangerous opens up, but gets countered with a hip toss from Tommy Wilcox. Wilcox misses with the rolling elbow. Tommy Wilcox getting back to his feet. Tony Dangerous colliding with the referee. Wilcox off the rope, an elbow right to the face of Tony Dangerous. Faye Crawford cheering on her fella here. A kick, a chop, another kick from the lightning fast one. Tony Dangerous has him up and slams him right back down again. Tommy Wilcox having the tables turned on him here. Tony Dangerous flying crossbody off the middle rope. Here's a pin. One. But no. Wilcox powering out of the pin. It's very early in the matchup. An overhand right from Dangerous. A kick to Tommy Wilcox, and Wilcox counters the whip. Tony Dangerous catches another elbow to the face from Tommy Wilcox. And the Cocoa Beach Wonderkin lighten it up here. Oh, up and over into a Japanese arm drag. The lightning fast one gets a hold of Wilcox, rounds him up, fireman's carry, takes him over to the ropes, hangs him up the top rope. Tommy Wilcox down again as Tony Dangerous moves in on the attack. Oh, a headbutt to the lower abdomen. That is a painful thing. Wilcox back up, and Tony Dangerous just in time sets it up, and there's a wheelbarrow bulldog taking down Wilcox again. Tony Dangerous misses with the kick. Wilcox rolls out of the way, gets caught from behind. Wilcox whipped over the top rope, out onto the apron. He counters Tony Dangerous with a forearm, makes his way back inside the ring. Tony Dangerous countered again by Wilcox. More elbows to the midsection for the lightning fast one. Wilcox charges off the middle rope and takes down Tony Dangerous again. A whole lot of back and forth in this one. Discus punch from Wilcox. Overhand right to Tony Dangerous, right to the top of the head. He goes behind on him. Wilcox has him up and slams him down, back suplex. Tony Dangerous catches a stomp from the Cocoa Beach Wonderkin. The lightning fast one certainly having his issues in this matchup against Wilcox. Mighty Molly trying to take Tommy Wilcox to task, but nothing doing. Tony Dangerous has been down for quite a while now. He might be hurt. No, he's quickly back up, but fails to connect with his move. He might be hurt. There's a stomp to the head from Wilcox. Wilcox covers, hooks the leg. One, no. Tony Dangerous still in the game here. Wilcox off the rope and another elbow to the face of the lightning fast one. Tommy Wilcox gathers up Tony Dangerous. Whoa, swing and a miss. But quickly countered. Wilcox quickly back up again. Rebounds off the ropes. Drops the leg across the throat of the lightning fast one. Tony Dangerous in some serious jeopardy here as Wilcox gathers him up again. Rolls him up. But look at this. One arm slams him. Amazing. Here's a pin. 1, 2. That is going to do it. Tommy Wilcox picking himself up an upset win over the lightning fast one.
Here's the time, 3 minutes and 16 seconds. And your winner, Tommy Wilcox.
I don't know, I was expecting like a longer match.
So was I. I figured this one might carry on for a good 6, maybe even 7 minutes, but Tommy Wilcox, obviously in a hurry with somewhere to go, wrapping up Tony Dangerous in 3 minutes and 16 seconds. Place your Steve Austin jokes here. But Tommy Wilcox, the Cocoa Beach Wonderkin, with this one-arm slam, put the kibosh on Tony Dangerous's plans. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll be back with more RWL Rage in just a moment.
Up next, y'all, Legends Division singles competition as the Ultimate Warrior gets set to mix it up with the magnificent Don Morocco.
I felt this was a good Legends match with a solid balance of 2 different opponents.
The next match is scheduled for 1 fall with a 15-minute time limit. Introducing first, from parts unknown, weighing 285 pounds, here is the Ultimate Warrior.
And it is time to load the spaceship with the rocket fuel, the Ultimate Warrior, making his usual grand entrance as he returns to the Legends Division after just about a month or 2 away, and still in contention for the Legends World title, now held by Macho Man Randy Savage.
When the time comes, and we promise it will, Randy Savage, hey, we already know how he feels about the Ultimate Warrior and how hard Randy worked all of last year to get his title match against Roddy Piper to win the Legends World belt, and he is going to be shameless about whipping on Ultimate Warrior. He's so not giving up the belt after having just won the damn thing, and I can't blame him. All his hard work, all those matches, throwing Too Short under the bus and leaving Bell Unlimited and reconnecting with Elizabeth again. Come on now, Randy Savage will be ruthless defending the belt.
His opponent, along with the Grand Wizard of Wrestling, from Sunset Beach, Hawaii, weighing 275 pounds, the magnificent Don Morocco.
Don Morocco, a mainstay in the stable of the Grand Wizard, and a mainstay in the Legends division as well. He has had some spectacular matches. In fact, it was Don Morocco who faced Jinder Mahal in his very first RWL match on RWL Late Night last year, and it was a match to remember.
It must have been a match to remember. I remember it. Jinder Mahal and Don Morocco tore the place down.
Well, so the Ultimate Warrior back with us in the Legends division. Set to face Don Morocco. Charles Lucera sounds the bell. The Warrior charges. Morocco blocks him up. Ultimate Warrior counters with a knee in the midsection. Morocco counters with a kick. Ultimate Warrior rounds him up. Drives a knee right into the midsection of Don Morocco. The Grand Wizard of Wrestling looking on as the Ultimate Warrior is quickly countered by Don Morocco. Slammed face first into the canvas. Morocco with a kick to the leg of the Ultimate Warrior. The Warrior counters both boots, shoving Morocco away. He rolls to the outside. Ultimate Warrior up on the top turnbuckle here. Here he comes, and an elbow right to the top of the head of Don Morocco, right in front of the Grand Wizard. A clubbing overhand right from the Warrior to Morocco, who is laid out. Referee Charles Lucera has already engaged the count. Morocco slammed face first into the floor. The Warrior follows it up with a stomp. The Ultimate Warrior opening up very aggressively on the magnificent Don Morocco. Morocco gathered up again. Rolled back inside the ring. The Ultimate Warrior making his way. The Grand Wizard giving him a wide berth. Morocco pops him up, has him up over the shoulder. Ultimate Warrior quickly counters it into a DDT. And Don Morocco has had no answer so far, but there's a counter, a shot to the midsection that doubles the Warrior over. He's got him up. There's a knee breaker from Don Morocco. The Magnificent One with another hard shot to the midsection of the Ultimate Warrior. He's working the core of the body. Morocco with the Warrior against the ropes, has him up, hangs him up off the top rope the hard way. Don Morocco gathers the Warrior back up. Another hard shot to the midsection. A kick, a drop kick, taking the Warrior down. Don Morocco with a stomp to the knee of the Ultimate Warrior. And now Morocco battling back, driving a knee into the lower back of the Ultimate Warrior. Follows that up with a stomp to the midsection. The Warrior counters, slams Morocco into the canvas. Follows that up with a stomp. The Ultimate Warrior turning things around yet again, driving all his weight into Morocco's lower back. Morocco counters with an elbow. Locks it up with the Ultimate Warrior. Has him up. He's setting him up for the pile driver, and he certainly did nail it. The Ultimate Warrior catching most of it. He rolls out to the floor, no doubt devastated by that pile driver. Morocco changes his mind on the high-risk maneuver. As the Warrior makes his way back inside, Morocco fails to connect with the shoulder tackle, whips the Ultimate Warrior to the ropes, misses with the elbow. Ultimate Warrior puts on the brakes, charges into a tilt-a-whirl backbreaker. Wow. Morocco covers. 1, 2. But no, the Ultimate Warrior kicking out at 2. Rolls to the outside. Comes back in after a reset. A chop, another chop. Front slam from the Ultimate Warrior. Morocco back on the defensive. All of a sudden, the Ultimate Warrior slams him down to the canvas again. Follows that up with a stomp right to the face. And Don Morocco losing whatever momentum he had, however briefly. The Ultimate Warrior up on the top turnbuckle here. Here he comes, big time crossbody with a pin and a hook of the leg. 1, 2. And yet again, Morocco getting that left shoulder up, much to the frustration of the Ultimate Warrior. The Warrior drives a knee right into the head of Don Morocco. Morocco rolls to the outside apron, using the ropes to get himself stood up. Here he comes, but Morocco counters with a knee, and he is busted open. The Ultimate Warrior whips him to the far right turnbuckle. There's a clothesline taking Morocco down the canvas just about center ring. Ultimate Warrior rounds him up by his throat and tosses him halfway across the ring. Morocco counters with both boots up to a standing position and bleeding badly. Ultimate Warrior with a shot to the midsection. Morocco whipped to the ropes. Warrior makes the leapfrog and into a beautifully executed power slam dead center ring. And the Ultimate Warrior, yet again, turning the tide in his favor as he slams all his weight into Morocco's lower back yet again. A stomp to the arm. The Ultimate Warrior backfiring on all cylinders here as he rounds up Morocco. Morocco quickly counters. A hard right stuns the Ultimate Warrior, has him staggering back. Warrior whipped to the ropes. Morocco countered with a kick and a hard shot to the midsection from the Ultimate Warrior. And here we go. Military press drop from the Ultimate Warrior. Wow. What a powerhouse is the Ultimate Warrior. Don Morocco staggering on Green Street here as the Warrior drags him towards the ropes. Ultimate Warrior. Oh no, choking Don Morocco with the top rope. Can't say anything about that. Ultimate Warrior drops Morocco headfirst into the corner. Rounds him up by his throat again and tosses him across the ring one more time. The Ultimate Warrior loading it up here. Here's a clothesline. Into the military press one more time, and down goes Morocco. Ultimate Warrior rebounds off the ropes. There's the splash. Morocco definitely stunned on that one. Here's a cover from the ref. 1, 2, 3. Case closed. The Ultimate Warrior picking up the win over Don Morocco by pinfall.
Here's the time, 5 minutes and 45 seconds. And your winner, the Ultimate Warrior.
I mean, what, is everybody late for an appointment today that they're getting done so quick? The Ultimate Warrior wrapping this one up pretty fast.
He most certainly did. Look at the face of consternation on the Grand Wizard of Wrestling as Don Morocco takes a very rapid loss to the Ultimate Warrior.
You know, Christie's right. Randy Savage is not going to put up with the Ultimate Warrior trying to take his belt.
When we return, Brenton Quinn Stewart facing Stefan Von Berger. Up next, a standard singles matchup that's anything but standard. Brenton Quinn Stewart of the MJ Ferrantino Group, accompanied by Sister Goldenhair, facing the German technician of the Stronghold, Stefan Von Berger.
The next match is scheduled for one fall with a 15-minute time limit. Coming down the aisle, along with Sister Golden Hair, from Northridge, California, weighing 285 pounds, Brenton Quinn Stewart.
BQS and SGH.
Yeah, they're now recognized unofficially as the hot couple of the Ferrantino Group. MJ just put them together for aesthetic reasons, but Golden Hair fell hard for BQ Stewart, and he hasn't exactly ignored it. Nope. They hit it off and well. Now they're inseparable. Whether Ferrantino did this on purpose or the relationship grew organically, Stewart and Goldie are definitely bonded now.
And no kidding. They do make a nice couple, don't they?
And Myron and Christie, they say the couple that plays together stays together, and Brenton Quinn Stewart and Sister Goldenhair both actively engaged in in-ring competition in RWL these days.
Yeah, they both won their last matches. I wonder if that's supposed to be good luck or something.
His opponent, along with Sylvia Strong from Heidelberg, Germany, weighing 302 pounds, the German technician, Stefan Von Berger.
A career chock-a-block with ups and downs has been Stefan Von Berger, who formed the Insiders along with Big Jake Blackwell several years ago. They were tag team champions at one time, and Stefan Von Berger began his career in a very shaky fashion, but Sylvia Strong, firmly believing that Von Berger could definitely make it, never gave up on him, and now Stefan Von Berger is definitely an accomplished star within the Stronghold, championship gold or not.
You know, he almost quit. When the Insiders were going through that losing streak within their first year, he literally almost gave up. He was going to quit the business. Sylvia Strong wouldn't give up on him. She wouldn't let him do it.
Sylvia might have a mouth like a truck driver, and sometimes she seems like she's tweaking, but Miss Girl is loyal to her clients all day, every day, and that's been a key to Sylvia's success.
Right, well, both of these gentlemen looking primed and ready for this matchup. Oh, look at the look of determination on the face of Brenton Quinn Stewart. Well, sir, referee Walt Rothburn sounds the bell, and here we go.
They lock it up, collar and elbow. Brenton Quinn Stewart. Counter whip by Von Berger into the corner. There's a splash, and there's an elbow, and out comes BQ Stewart. There's an elbow to the head from Von Berger. The German technician off the ropes. Running splash to Brenton Quinn Stewart. Stewart back up on his feet. Von Berger, what a haymaker. A hard right that took Stewart down to the canvas. Sister Goldenhair looking on as Von Berger sets up the fly swatter and nails it right in front of Sylvia Strong. Stefan Von Berger, of course, one half of the Insiders, along with international champion Big Jake Blackwell. Stefan Von Berger steps to the outside with Brenton Quinn Stewart. Stewart slammed head first into the lip of the apron. Stefan Von Berger has been extremely aggressive in the first minute of this matchup. Driven into the ring steps by Brenton Quinn Stewart, who makes his way back inside the ring. Sylvia Strong looking at Brenton Quinn Stewart with some degree of consternation. Here he comes, clothesline, takes Von Berger down to the canvas, and Brenton Quinn Stewart goes for a cover, but not even a one. Von Berger quickly out of the pin. The German technician being escorted to the far left corner by Brenton Quinn Stewart, head first into the turnbuckle. Stefan Von Berger counters, finds his way out of the corner, gets a hold of Stewart, has him up in the front cradle, takes a walk with him, rounds him up over the shoulder, hangs him up over the top rope. Brenton Quinn Stewart on the canvas as Von Berger nails him again with another running splash off the ropes. Stefan Von Berger misses with that right, and Brenton Quinn Stewart drives him right into referee Walt Rothburn. Fortunately, not a serious casualty. Over the shoulder, off the ropes, and down goes Stefan Von Berger, being paid back with the same coin that he just paid Brenton Quinn Stewart with. Now Stewart putting the boots to the hands and fingers of the German technician. Now putting the boots to any available part of Stefan Von Berger. He can lay him too. There's a stomp right to the lower abdomen, and he walks it off. That is going to rearrange your intestines. Head first into the, oh man, right into the top of the dome with the elbow. And again, Brenton Quinn Stewart stamping the hands and fingers, and there's a driving knee right across the head of the German technician. Brenton Quinn Stewart certainly coming alive after being pummeled for the first couple of minutes, and he has taken over the momentum. There's a knee to the side of the head of the German technician. I do believe he made Brenton Quinn Stewart mad. There's a stomp. There's another stomp. There's a third stomp. Brenton Quinn Stewart watches Von Berger roll out to center ring and conveniently covers. 1, 2, barely just a 1. Von Berger catches a running seated splash from Brenton Quinn Stewart. Sister Goldenhair absolutely loving what she's seeing. Von Berger whipped to the ropes. Stewart ducks under, leapfrogs, and into a power slam. Textbook move from Brenton Quinn Stewart. The North Ridge Quake follows up with another knee to the head of the German technician. What a look at this. Brenton Quinn Stewart in command of the situation for sure, as Stefan Von Berger catches another seated splash from Brenton Quinn Stewart. Stewart takes himself to the top turnbuckle. Stefan Von Berger slowly making his way to a standing position. Here we go. Misses with the missile dropkick. Von Berger tags him with a right to the head. The German technician rallying back with a knee to the head of Brenton Quinn Stewart. Stewart with both boots repelling. Stefan Von Berger follows up with a stomp to the missing. Uh-oh, here we go. He most certainly made Brenton Quinn Stewart angry. He is now toying with Stefan Von Berger, something he does not ordinarily do. Over the shoulder again hung up off the top rope by Brenton Quinn Stewart. Stewart drives the knee into the head yet again. The rebound off the ropes, another seated splash to the lower abdomen of Stefan Von Berger, whose lunch is extremely unhappy at this time. A counter with Von Berger puts Stewart out on the apron, gets a hold of him, and it's beats of the Bodran time. 10 punches across the chest. Is going to leave Brenton Quinn Stewart laid out on the floor on the outside. Sister Goldenhair looking a little bit concerned at this point. Stefan Von Berger battling back into this matchup. And here we go, back suplex from Brenton Quinn Stewart. BQ Stewart with a spinning neckbreaker to Stefan Von Berger on the outside with referee Walt Rothburn already counting. Stewart drives Von Berger back inside the ring, almost tripping up the referee. He's having a pretty rough match himself. Stewart catches a clothesline from Stefan Von Berger. A hard left, a hard right, but a counter hip toss from BQ Stewart. Von Berger quickly back up again. Stewart gets a hold on him and slams him face first into the canvas. Stefan Von Berger steps to the outside, comes back on in on a reset, goes behind on a showboating Brenton Quinn Stewart, escorts him towards the far right corner, head first into the turnbuckle, goes Stewart. And Stefan Von Berger with a couple of elbows to the side of the head. Here's a pin. One. Not even. Almost a two. All right. And here we go. It is slugfest time as Brenton Quinn Stewart and Stefan Von Berger step up and they just start squaring off, trading shots. Stewart and Von Berger. Von Berger with the upper hand for a moment, but Brenton Quinn Stewart takes him down with the clothesline. Von Berger crawling his way to the corner. Makes his way back to a standing position. Both men bleeding at this point. What a... Knocked him off his perch down to the floor. Brenton Quinn Stewart clearly done playing games with the German technician. Von Berger also done playing games. A shoulder tackle. Taking Stewart down. The German technician with that power. There's that gut wrench suplex. Tossing Brenton Quinn Stewart like a cruiserweight. And here we go, up over the arms, way in the middle of the air goes Brenton Quinn Stewart, and down, face first into the canvas. Military press drop from the German technician. Sylvia Strong rallying Von Berger as he turns this match around again. The momentum having gone back and forth several times. A counter, head first into the turnbuckle for Von Berger. Brenton Quinn Stewart places him deftly on the top turnbuckle, and look at this. A hard shot to the midsection. What in the hell? Whoa! That... Oh my, well, he just choked him over the rope, bent him like a pretzel, and then choked him with the boot. Brenton Quinn Stewart showing some new tricks today. Stefan Von Berger not amused in the slightest. Whipping Stewart towards the barricade. There's a jumping elbow from Stefan Von Berger. The German technician locking in a heel hook stretch on Brenton Quinn Stewart on the outside. What a match this has progressed into. Both these guys definitely hungry for the win. Stefan Von Berger rounds up Brenton Quinn Stewart again into another military press on the outside and slams him face first into the floor. Stefan Von Berger gathering up BQ Stewart, hurling him towards the timekeeper's area as Von Berger himself makes his way back inside the ring. The referee continuing to count Brenton Quinn Stewart. Stewart on his way back in, but Von Berger steps out again, restarting the count all over again. There's a shoulder tackle from Von Berger to Stewart. And Von Berger imposing his will on the Northridge Quake. There's a stomp to the back. The German technician battling back here late into the match. It's still anyone's match to win. Stefan Von Berger with a discus punch, taking Stewart down to the floor on the outside. Sylvia Strong looking supremely confident in her fella as he makes his way back inside the ring. Brenton Quinn Stewart beginning to stir. Here's Von Berger. Takes himself to the top turnbuckle. I don't believe... Whoa! A flying shoulder off the top turnbuckle, taking Stewart down yet again. The referee having to restart the count once more. As Stewart plays to the crowd in the front row. Big mistake. Stefan Von Berger gets a hold on him. Rolls him back inside the ring. Von Berger moves in on Stewart. Stewart counters it. Has him up. What a slam. And here's a pin attempt, but too close to the rope, says the official. He's going to have to start all over again. Brenton Quinn Stewart. Look at this. Whoa! What a clothesline. Von Berger's neck snapped on that clothesline. Brenton Quinn Stewart gets a hold of Stefan Von Berger. Has him up over the shoulder. What a power bomb. Here's a cover and a hook of the leg. 1, 2,
Finally, at the end of this one, BQ Stewart comes up with the win.
Here's the time, precisely 10 minutes, and your winner, Brenton Quinn Stewart.
Wow, Don, what a battle that was. Taking up half the time of it, and look at Brenton Quinn Stewart, what a mess.
Indeed, Brenton Quinn Stewart, battered, bruised, and bloody, but nonetheless the pinfall winner in this battle of attrition with the German technician, which came down to which of them was hungrier, which one of them wanted it more, and clearly it was Brenton Quinn Stewart, sporting the crimson mask. Sister Golden Hair no doubt will be helping heal his wounds, but Brenton Quinn Stewart, right here, look at this clothesline that put the lights out for Stefan von Berger. It was the beginning of the end, and then Brenton Quinn Stewart nailed him with that powerbomb. Ladies and gentlemen, more RWL Rage in just a moment when we return. Bravo fans, our first ladies match of tonight's Rage card, definitely an interesting one. Jessica Hyde, formerly Jessica Goldman, who has definitely gone round the twist, facing Sherry Martel of Bell Unlimited this evening. And Pat McAfee is still filling in.
This next ladies match is scheduled for one fall with a 15-minute time limit. Approaching the ring from Brisbane, Australia, here is Jessica Hyde.
You said it earlier during the first match, Myron Honey. We got all kinds in our WL, and seemed though the only thing we were missing from the complete pack of characters was a woman gone stark staring nuts. And now we got one with Jessica Hyde. And is she ever obsessed with getting back at Virginia Austin for replacing her in the UK ladies and in Ballarat Jack's private life? She said Sherry Martel is just a guinea pig for what she called experiments in pain administration. Yo, I didn't even want to talk to her. She's Creepsville now.
I'm not particularly thrilled with dealing with her now. I don't like the way she stares at me. I don't like the way she stares at anybody.
All the trauma Jessica Goldman went through to become Jessica Hyde has certainly warped her appearance, her mind, and just about everything else. And Sherry Martel may find herself in a bit of trouble this evening against Jessica Hyde.
Her opponent, along with Pat McAfee, representing Bell Unlimited, from Nashville, Tennessee, Sherry Martel.
Along with Ronda Rousey, one of the two ladies in the Bell Unlimited stable, Sherry Martel, the obvious seasoned veteran out of all of them. And Sherry Martel with heaps of experience, but dealing with a maniac in Jessica Hyde this evening. And Sherry Martel will have to use all of her wits, all of her ability, and some of her cheating skills to keep up with an insane person like Jessica Hyde.
And a lot of people ask me, they say, Myron, why don't they just get rid of her on the basis of psychiatric disorder? Like, you don't understand. Professional wrestlers are all a little bit crazy. It's not quite that easy.
True that. It's hard to find any wrestlers who have all their marbles neatly lined up right.
There are few things more dangerous than an obsessed human being, and Jessica Hyde certainly obsessed with getting a hold of Virginia Austin. Here we go, the bell sounds. Sherry Martel with a slap across the face, a hard right to Jessica Hyde, gets a hold of her, has her up, vertical suplex, just about center ring. Sherry Martel with a running drop kick that only glances. A shot from Jessica Hyde to the back of Sherry Martel, whip to the far right corner, there's a knee, and down goes Sherry Martel into a seated position in the corner, with Jessica Hyde driving both boots into the chest of Sherry Martel. There's a handstand off the ropes and a pair of knees into the chest of Sherry Martel. Jessica Hyde definitely on a different gear these days, one that's usually not listed in the manual. All the way up the top, there's a double boot stomp right to the midsection of Sherry Martel. And now raining hard left hands on the head of Sherry. There's a stomp to the midsection. Jessica Hyde up the middle rope moonsault. Again attacking the midsection, the core of Sherry Martel, as she makes her way to a standing position on the ropes. Counters
Jessica Hyde gets a hold on her. Rounds her up over the shoulders into the fireman's carry. Takes a walk over towards the far left corner. Deposits her head right against the turnbuckle. Down goes Jessica Hyde into the corner in the seated position. Sherry Martel stepping out and stepping back in. Jessica Hyde right back up on her feet. Sherry Martel counters with elbows to the midsection, backing off Jessica Hyde. Jessica catches a set of right hands from Sherry Martel. Sherry locks her up. Hard whip to the far left corner. Here's a charge. Here's a splash. Down goes Jessica Hyde. Sherry Martel countered again with another elbow from Jessica. Jessica whips Sherry to the ropes. Gets a hold on her, tries for the belly-to-belly suplex, doesn't get it, catches an eye gouge and a set of shots from Sherry Martel and a headlock punch, taking Jessica Hyde down to the canvas. Jessica Hyde laid out near center, Sherry Martel making her way to the top turnbuckle. Here we go, leg drop right across the throat of Jessica Hyde. Sherry Martel quickly covers and hooks the leg. 1, 2, but no, Jessica Hyde kicking out at 2. Sherry Martel seems supremely confident. She seems to have Jessica Hyde in control, but that may be an illusion. A headlock punch takes down Jessica Hyde center ring again. There's a stomp. There's another from Sherry Martel. And Sherry Martel with a double boot scrape across the sides of the face of Jessica Hyde. And I think it might be dangerous making Jessica Hyde mad, but she doesn't seem to care. She's gouging the face of Jessica Hyde. Sherry Martel, definitely a seasoned veteran, moves in on Jessica Hyde. Jessica Hyde rounded up by Sherry Martel, taken down to the canvas. And, oh, look at this. What a move. Slingshots are into the middle rope. Jessica Hyde now being stomped, systematically trampled by Sherry Martel. And Sherry Martel certainly in control at the present time, trying to rally some support from these fans, but nobody, and I do mean nobody, cares for Sherry Martel. All the way up on the top left turnbuckle. Here she goes again, misses with the elbow. Jessica Hyde quickly up. There's a drop kick taking Sherry Martel down to the mat. A clubbing overhand right from Jessica Hyde. Hyde rebounds off the ropes. There's a flying punch taking Sherry Martel down to the canvas. Here's a quick pin from Jessica Hyde. 1, but only a 1. Sherry Martel apparently still too strong. Jessica Hyde gets behind her, whips her to the far left turn. Oh man, a knee right to the head. Down goes Sherry Martel. There's another boot to the chest. There's another. And look at this. Again, pressing all of her weight into the chest of Sherry Martel. There's the handstand off the ropes. There's the double set of knees to the chest of Sherry Martel. Sherry in some serious trouble. Oh, look at this. Jessica Hyde exposing the turnbuckle herself. She didn't need a manager to help her do it. Jessica Hyde definitely on a different level these days since her return from the hospital after a nervous breakdown following being expelled from the UK ladies by Ballarat Jack Jones in favor of Virginia Austin. Jessica Hyde ducks under, collides with Sherry Martel. Martel with a running crossbody. All of a sudden the referee currently occupied with the turnbuckle. Jessica Hyde catches a jawbreaker from Sherry Martel. There's a right, there's a chop. And there's a clothesline taking Hyde down to the canvas. The referee's still fiddling with that turnbuckle. As Jessica Hyde rolls to the outside, Sherry Martel all the way up on the top turnbuckle, waiting for her. Here we go, diving crossbody off the top, 10 feet up and 10 feet down. Sherry Martel regaining control of this matchup and regaining control of Jessica Hyde. A difficult task to be sure. Jessica Hyde's leg being stretched by Sherry Martel. Martel gathering up Jessica Hyde again, hurling her towards the barricades, but not quite making it. Sherry Martel takes herself back inside the ring. Referee Walt Rothburn continuing to count Jessica Hyde. The count restarted again as Sherry Martel takes herself to the outside. Misses with a stomp, catches a knee from Jessica Hyde right to the head. Jessica Hyde rounds up Sherry Martel, gets her back inside the ring, rolls herself back in. Jessica Hyde with a clubbing overhand right to the back of the head of Sherry Martel, rebounds off the ropes, flying punch, takes Sherry Martel down to the mat once more. Jessica Hyde perhaps stalking her. There's a knee to the head of Sherry Martel one more time, and Sherry Martel suddenly finding herself on the defensive after being dominant for about half this match. Jessica Hyde putting the boots to a laid out Sherry Martel, and look, she is definitely gone around the twist for sure. Certainly a couple of Marines short of a platoon. Wrist clutch stomps to the chest of Sherry Martel, and a quick pin here. Whoa. Again, just a one. What is it going to take Sherry Martel down? Jessica Hyde still hasn't figured it out. There's a stomp to the chest. Sherry Martel gathered up by the wrist. There's a knee right to the head. Down goes Sherry Martel just about center ring. Jessica Hyde gathers her back up again. Locks her up one more time. Here's the hard whip to the ropes for Sherry Martel. A duck under from Jessica Hyde. And up and in. Whoa, what a right hand taking her down again center ring. Here's another pin. 1, 2. Absolutely incredible. Sherry Martel getting that left shoulder up at the 11th hour. Again, rounded up by the wrist. There's another knee to the head to Sherry Martel. Jessica Hyde absolutely relentless. Another overhand right to the back of the head of Sherry. Jessica Hyde countered by Sherry Martel with a hard right. Martel gets a hold on Jessica, escorts her towards the far right corner, head first into the turnbuckle. Jessica Hyde yanked back out by Sherry Martel. A scoop slam as Sherry Martel takes herself to the middle rope. And whoa, a double axe handle catches her just as she was getting back up. Here's another pin from Sherry. 1. Again, just a lot of near falls in this matchup. Sherry Martel determined to win it, but Jessica Hyde just as determined as she is. There's another scoop slam as Jessica rolls to the outside. Sherry Martel up on the far right turnbuckle, dives again, a leg drop from 10 feet up right across the throat of Jessica Hyde. Pat McAfee supporting Sherry Martel as best he can, which isn't very much at all. Sherry Martel rounded up by Jessica Hyde, driven into the ring steps. Hyde gathered back up again. Oh, look at this. Sherry Martel hurled to the other side of the ring. Whoa, a quick counter from Sherry Martel, avoiding potential disaster. Again, the referee continuing the count. Sherry Martel rolled back inside the ring by Jessica Hyde, who rolls back in herself. Sherry Martel laid out near center ring. A rebound off the rope, and whoa! A beautiful flying crossbody. Jessica Goldman. Well, her mind may be addled, but she certainly has not forgotten how to wrestle. There's a forearm right across the face of Sherry Martel. Martel makes her way to a standing position against the ropes. Jessica Hyde getting into it with Pat McAfee, who's finally gotten off his hind legs and trying to defend Sherry Martel on behalf of Bell Unlimited. And quite frankly, it's the most I've seen Pat McAfee do. Jessica Hyde gets a hold of Sherry. Rebounds off the rope. A spin kick right to the face of Sherry Martel. Jessica Hyde stalking Sherry Martel. Dead center ring. Goes behind on her. Reverse fireman's carry over the shoulder. There's a GTS knee to the head. Here's a cover and a hook of the leg. 1, 2, 3. That last one did it.
Here's the time. 9 minutes and 21 seconds. And your winner, Jessica Hyde.
Jessica Hyde with a win over Sherry Martel in her ongoing quest to get Virginia Austin. We'll be right back. As we conclude the first half tonight with a Legends tag match to beat the band, Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff and Hot Rod Roddy Piper have been an effective team since joining forces a few weeks ago, and tonight they're facing Hawk and Animal, the Road Warriors.
Following Legends tag match, scheduled for one fall with a 20-minute time limit. Coming down the aisle at a combined weight of 490 pounds, Roddy Piper, and Mr. Wonderful, Paul Orndorff.
Mr. Piper and Mr. Orndorff have had quite the degree of success since joining forces once more, and Hot Rod did not pick up his ball and go home after losing the Legends World title. He decided to pursue Tag Team Gold with Mr. Wonderful, who's already Mid-South champion. And I'll tell you what, they have not done badly for themselves. Orndorff and Piper, they've taken down most of their opponents. Tonight's a little bit odd. I mean, the Road Warriors, one of the toughest tag teams anywhere on earth. It's not going to be quite so easy for Orndorff and Piper. But let's not sell them short. They still have the potential to win.
wouldn't think of selling him short, but I think we're in for a pretty long fight between these two teams.
Certainly both teams, Piper and Orndorff and the Road Warriors, capable of going for the long haul. It could certainly be a long and drawn-out battle of attrition between the two teams.
Their opponents at a combined weight of 586 pounds from Chicago, Illinois, Hawk, and Animal, the Road Warriors.
Pound for pound, Hawk and Animal recognized all over the planet as one of the greatest tag teams in all of professional wrestling history. The Road Warriors, multi-time tag team champions everywhere they have ever competed. And Hawk and Animal tonight set to face Hot Rod and Mr. Wonderful. And these two teams battling for a position to face Sergeant Slaughter and the Patriot for the Legends TV tag titles. And it's a question of which of these two teams is going to want that title shot more. I think it goes to Piper and Orndorff, but the Road Warriors have a reputation for winning matches that no one expected. Well, Hot Rod and Mr. Wonderful have taken on some pretty big names. This match against the Road Warriors is going to prove a serious challenge. Piper and Hawk starting things off. Charles Lacera sounds the bell. Piper opens up with a set of rights, a kick to the midsection. Hawk puts on the brakes, delivers a headbutt to Roddy Piper. A throat chop, a left. Hawk gets him by the throat. Double choke lift, slams Piper down to the canvas. Roddy Piper counters with both boots, quickly back up on his feet. Hawk puts on the brakes again, a dragon screw for Roddy Piper. Roddy Piper having his problems getting through to Road Warrior Hawk. There's another headbutt, taking Piper down to the mat again. Road Warrior Hawk gets a hold of him, escorts him towards the Road Warrior's corner, head first into the turnbuckle goes Hot Rod. Here comes Road Warrior Animal, double team incoming. There's a punch right to the ribs as Animal takes over for the Road Warriors. Inverted atomic drop to Roddy Piper. Piper catches another hard shot to the midsection. Road Warrior Animal kicks him in the gut, delivers a DDT. The Road Warriors on fire right away. One, barely just a one on Roddy Piper. Animal turns it back over to Hawk. Frequent tags, a hallmark of the Road Warriors. Piper catches another knee from Hawk. Hawk gets a hold of him, whips Piper towards the ropes. They collide near center ring. Piper catches a set of rights from Hawk. Hawk sets up the double chicken wing suplex and nails it. Roddy Piper goes flying. Hawk covers. One. But Mr. Wonderful right there to break it up at the count of one. Roddy Piper in some serious jeopardy here on the wrong side of town near the Road Warriors corner. Hawk tags him with the right, spins him around, rounds him up for an atomic drop. Hot Rod needs to get to Mr. Wonderful hot, quick, and in a hurry. Hip first into the turnbuckle goes Hot Rod again. Here comes Animal one more time. Sets up the boot face first into the head of Roddy Piper as Animal steps in and takes over for the Road Warriors. Hot Rod catches a right, a kick, and a military press slam from Road Warrior Animal. Here's another pin. One. Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff one more time, saving the match for his team. Animal has seen enough. Rounds up Orndorff into an inverted atomic drop, turns his attention back to Piper. Piper delivers a kick to the midsection. Animal delivers a knee to the midsection, gets a hold, but Piper countering with elbows again. Road Warrior Animal backed off. Roddy Piper catches another knee. Animal whips him towards the corner, charges, and there's a running splash taking Piper down, face down center ring. And here comes Road Warrior Hawk again. The ref seeing the tag. Roddy Piper laid out face down center ring as Hawk moves in. Rounds up Piper, snaps the arm between the legs, and there's another slam of the arm to Roddy Piper. Road Warrior Animal now twisting the head and neck of Roddy Piper, who has now been in there for just about 3 minutes, being roundly abused by both Road Warriors. He needs to make a tag to Orndorff desperately. Tossed halfway across the ring. Hawk covers, hooks the leg, but Orndorff right there to put the kibosh on his plans. Road Warrior Hawk catches a kick to the head. Mr. Wonderful finally gets the tag and makes it into the ring. Hawk tags him with the right, spins him around, goes behind on him, and there's an atomic drop to Mr. Wonderful.
Orndorff rounded up, escorted to the Road Warriors corner. Roddy Piper nowhere to be found as Animal is tagged in again. And Orndorff catches the boot to the face this time as Animal assumes command. There's another kick to the face. Orndorff, quick with both boots, counters, gets back up on his feet. Animal rolls to the outside. Orndorff turning his attention to Hawk, and then back to Animal. Animal dodges a right. Orndorff with an inverted atomic drop to Animal, gets a hold of him again, escorts him towards the ropes. Road Warrior Animal up against the ropes as Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff chokes him with the top rope, and then gives it a good yank, and out to the center of the ring goes Road Warrior Animal. Animal countering with both boots, quickly back up on his feet. Takes it to his corner, turns it over to Hawk one more time. Orndorff right there waiting for him. Piper still not at his tag corner. There's a clothesline from Mr. Wonderful. A running drop kick to Road Warrior Hawk as Orndorff rounds him up again. Hard right hand takes Hawk down to the canvas. Roddy Piper finally beginning to stir and may get to his corner. Orndorff driving knees into the leg of Road Warrior Hawk near his team's corner. And the momentum now shifting over to Piper and Orndorff after the Road Warriors had control for about a quarter of the match so far. Mr. Wonderful deftly steps over, climbs to the top turnbuckle. Road Warrior Hawk laid out near their corner as he slowly makes his way to a standing position. Here comes Orndorff. Oh, a forearm right across the back of Road Warrior Hawk. Mr. Wonderful catches a knee from Hawk. Hawk gets a hold of Orndorff by the scruff of the neck, takes him to the corner, smashes his head into the turnbuckle, but Orndorff counters but catches a cheap shot from Animal. Hawk goes behind, and whoa, just slammed him. I thought it was going to be another atomic drop, but no. Hawk gets him by the throat, tosses him towards the Road Warriors corner. Mr. Wonderful now catching the bad business where Piper was catching it earlier. Hot Rod looking on as Orndorff is slammed into the turnbuckle. Again, he counters and again catches another cheap shot from Road Warrior Animal. Hawk with a double axe handle and a clothesline to the back of the head to Mr. Wonderful. Orndorff rounded up again by Hawk. Hawk tries for the neck breaker, but countered by Orndorff. Orndorff delivers a left jab, gets a hold, but a knee to the midsection from Hawk. A right, a left, a knee from Orndorff. And this one has been wild, just going back and forth. Hawk again with more elbows to Orndorff, misses with the right, gets a hold of Orndorff, rounds him up for a pile driver, and there it is, Mr. Wonderful catching the whole pile driver on that one. And here comes Road Warrior Animal again with Mr. Wonderful laid out and certainly in some trouble. Road Warrior Animal rounds him up for the bear hug. No ropes to get to, no means of egress. Orndorff going to have to save himself or count on Piper, and there Piper is to save the day. But Animal nails him with a kick to the gut, pitches him all the way up, and look at this. Look at the power of Road Warrior Animal taking a walk with Piper to the edge, throws him over the top rope like a bag of trash. Orndorff back inside the ring. A kick to the midsection to Animal from Orndorff. Orndorff catches a right from Animal. Animal gets a hold of Orndorff, whips him towards the ropes, collides with him with no result. But a running DDT nails Orndorff, but good. Animal rolls him over, covers and hooks the leg. 1, 2, 3. The Road Warriors picking up the win over Piper and Orndorff. Let's get the official time from Aria Mitchell.
The time was 8 minutes and 4 seconds, and your winners, the Road Warriors.
And so, as good as Mr. Wonderful and Roddy Piper are, the Road Warriors proving they were that much better this evening, picking themselves up a pinfall win over one of the tougher new teams in the Legends Tag Team Division. The Road Warriors picking up an impressive win here over Piper and Orndorff, and here's the replay again. Piper and Orndorff both catching that boot in the corner from Road Warrior Animal. Ladies and gentlemen, that concludes the first half of tonight's RWL Rage. When we return, 4 more big matches in the second hour, and we'll be back with that right after the break. Stay with us.